Welcome to the late night show when I will talk about young criminals on the rise. More and more crimes are committed by the youth. Recently, the recent year, the number of young criminals is on the rise. What are the reasons behind all of these? In Vietnam, particularly, the uh, the population is getting older, but it is still a young population. And most of Vietnam is still suburban. The urban area do not cover up that much. And in the suburban area, kids are getting access to very bad thing, very bad thing. And that's the first reason, their surroundings. So in the suburban, their parents are always busy working to make money for a living. They are not taking care of their child carefully enough. They are not teaching, they are not lecturing their child, and they get, bad. And in a bad neighborhood with a high percentage of criminal, kid get access to it and make friends with bad people. They will lead the child to behaving badly or even committing crimes, and that's a big problem. Is parents not taking care of them, and they're making bad friends. But they're making friends with bad people who will lead them to eventually committing crime. This is a big reason. Another one is their psychology. I'm talking about young criminals. I'm talking about teenage criminals. Who are they? Recently, a few years ago, Levin Lit, who killed three people for money, and he was 16 or 17 by then, and our law cannot sentence him, could not sentence him to death. That's a big problem. And the psychology of teenagers is that they want to show off. They want to show off in front of their girlfriends. They want to show off in front of their friends, and that's a big problem because they may commit crime to show what they can do. They may stab someone if they think that person does not respect him, was looking at him with eyes, or maybe he will kill someone if he thinks that person is talking behind his back. Another big one, a big reason for the rise of young criminals is the loose enforcement of the government. First reason, the enforcers. There are not enough enforcers or police as you would normally call them. The enforcers, they force you to follow the law, and there are less and less policemen nowadays, because it is really hard to get a job in the police department. because the score is so high that you cannot qualify for position in the police police department, and it is you need to have someone in there to get a job for you, because a high score in the university entrance test is not enough. Another thing is the lack of surveillance around, the lack of surveillance, the lack of cameras and um, depot, posts that policemen can keep watch on a certain area. Another thing is that departments are not working as a system, from importing, from connecting to police department. They need to connect to transportation services like aerial, traveling by plane or by the sea, on air, in the air, but on the sea and on the road. They have to keep track of every track, keep track of everything. Everything is transported from this place to that place. They need to, God dang it, they need to cover it. They need to keep track of it, and they are not doing that well enough. People are getting things easily, drugs, alcohol, and that is not a problem. That the teenagers, they get easy access to drug or alcohol or many things, and these things are lethal, are dangerous. Using these, they will lose their control, their self-control. So, looking at all of these causes, I come up with some solution. First of all, the surroundings. Okay, so busy parents, bad friends, and bad neighborhood. So that can be solved if we have strengthen our enforcement system, more enforcers, more policemen. So make to be in the line of the police department, you will need skills. You will need mind and body, but you should make it easier for people, for intelligent and willing people who are willing to keep the country safe. They should have the chance to be in the line of the policeman. Surveillance, well, the first one, I don't think that the first one will cost too much. It will take some time, to plan it out, logically, and to get more nice people into the police line. Another thing is surveillance. So this one can be solved by installing more CCTV, more security cameras in more areas, especially at the suburban area. This will cost a lot. This will cost a lot and a lot of time too. But if after installing all of these surveillance system, we You know, the enforcer, they can sit back behind a screen to keep watch on, the people, keep watch on the activities of the people. No one working as a system. So all of system, transportation, uh, import, export, and the security, the enforcers, they should work together. So this will cost a lot, but I think it's worth it to keep track all of the import and export of our country. That is important, and being able to do that will, you know, we will get a lot of drug and a lot of drug and illegal deals out of our country. So that is quite difficult to establish, but it's worth it. The psychology, there is no really, there is no real way of changing the psychology of teenagers. But the best way to do that is to improve the education system to to have them to think about the positive thinking positively. They should know how to take care of themselves and who to play and who not to play with. And that is my idea of solving the problem of the rising number of young criminals. Actually missing an S here. So based on the causes, the best solution right now will be to strengthen the enforcement, strengthen our enforcers, to have more enforcers, and to install the surveillance system, and to work as a whole system. Sorry. And stronger enforcement will have the surroundings, will affect the kids' surroundings, will reduce the number of crimes. And also another thing is to improve the education here, to get them to think positively, and maybe that after improving the education, that will also affect the surrounding. They will not make friends with bad people, and that's basically my idea about this problem. This problem is not easily solved and will cost a lot, but to be able to do all of this, it will be worth it, and the number of young criminals will reduce after they successfully established all of these solutions. So that is it. Thank you for listening.